Your body has learned to reject love in order to avoid pain and has forgotten how to stop. There is an invisible shield pulsing between your sternum and your heart, a vibrational knot you created to survive your earliest wounds. But what once protected you now traps exactly what your soul longs for the most: the ability to receive love without falling apart. This blockage isn't in your mind. It's embedded in your body, crystallized in the membrane that surrounds your heart, the pericardium, turning the center of love into an impenetrable fortress, even from yourself. With every attempt at intimacy, something at the center of your chest tightens automatically. Like a reflex you no longer control. You want to love, you need to love, but your body still interprets affection as a threat. In this video, you will discover how that shield was formed, why it stays active decades after the danger has passed, and most importantly, how to dissolve it through an ancient vibrational ritual that speaks directly to the membrane surrounding your heart. Because there's a difference between being protected and being imprisoned. And now it's time for you to rediscover how to receive love without the fear of falling apart. This invisible shield has a name: armored heart. A somatic defense that operates on 3 distinct levels: physical, energetic, and neurological, blocking your ability to give, receive, and hold love, all at once. The mechanism is precise. When your nervous system detects emotional threat, a specific biochemical cascade stiffens the intercostal muscles, contracts the chest, and shifts your breathing pattern, forming a literal armor around your heart center. Egyptian Hermetic schools knew this phenomenon as the seal of the Sacred Heart, a blockage that stopped the vital force from flowing through the emotional center. To them, a sealed heart meant a soul disconnected from its primal source of power. Tibetan medicine referred to this condition as disturbed heart wind, a state where energy can no longer flow freely through the heart center, causing emotional stagnation and coldness in relationships. What these traditions once understood intuitively, modern neuroscience now confirms. Emotional trauma literally reshapes the anatomy of your chest, changing your posture, your breathing, and even the bone density of your sternum. By the end of this video, you'll have access to the exact protocol that can reverse this heart armor, a precise sequence that can dissolve decades of crystallized protection in just a few minutes of conscious practice. Hermetic texts, preserved in Edfu, reveal that Egyptian priests were aware of 7 blockage portals in the human body, points where the soul could disconnect from its divine source. The heart was considered the most dangerous of all, because once sealed, it would break the connection with what they called the Ka, the vital force that animated both body and spirit. In the Edwin Smith medical papyri, there are detailed descriptions of how emotional trauma created stone knots in the chest, blocking the breath of life from flowing freely. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, taught that the armored heart was the only true obstacle to the alchemical transmutation of the soul, the process through which pain is transformed into wisdom. For the initiates of Heliopolis, an open heart did not mean weakness, but mastery, the ability to receive any experience without being destroyed by it. They developed specific techniques of sacred heart opening rituals that dissolved blockages through conscious touch, combined with invocations that spoke directly to the forces governing each organ. The secret lay in understanding that the heart has 2 distinct natures, one physical, responsible for pumping blood, and one etheric, allowing the soul to recognize love as its natural language. When these 2 aspects fall out of alignment, the result is always the same: emotional hunger, combined with the inability to be nourished by what is most deeply desired. The neurobiology of trauma has revealed something remarkable. The pericardium contains nerve endings that are directly connected to the brainstem, acting as a sensor for emotional threats. When it detects emotional danger, this membrane sends signals that automatically activate the defense system, even decades after the original trauma. Research conducted in Stanford laboratories has shown that chronic contractions in the chest literally change brain chemistry, reducing the production of oxytocin, the hormone responsible for our ability to form safe emotional bonds. The HeartMath Institute discovered that the heart contains more than 40,000 neurons, forming what they call the heart brain, an independent neural network capable of processing emotions and making decisions. Functional magnetic resonance imaging studies have demonstrated that individuals with emotional trauma show heightened amygdala activity in response to signs of affection, explaining why intimacy can trigger panic even when it is consciously desired. Epigenetics has confirmed that experiences of rejection, abandonment, or betrayal alter the expression of genes linked to the attachment system, creating a biological predisposition toward emotional shutdown. Even more fascinating, these changes can be reversed through specific techniques that communicate safety directly to the autonomic nervous system. The ritual for dissolving the armored heart works through 3 simultaneous access points: conscious touch, directed breathing, and vibrational command. Each portal communicates with a specific layer of the armor: physical, energetic, and neurological, creating an opening sequence that undoes decades of crystallized protection without causing traumatic rupture. The first portal is somatic recognition. You need to locate exactly where the knot has settled in your body. Place your dominant hand over the center of your sternum, between your nipples, and press gently as you take a deep breath. If you feel resistance, tension, or discomfort, you've found the epicenter of the armor. That sensation is not imagined. It is the physical manifestation of emotional memories that have crystallized into muscular and fascial density. The second portal involves energetically mapping the blockage. Keep your hand on your sternum and take 3 deep breaths, consciously directing the air into the area where you feel the tension. Notice if any emotions, memories, or specific sensations arise. These are informative fragments of the original trauma, not to be relived, but to be acknowledged and released. The third portal is the activation of the dissolving command. With your hand still on your sternum, silently say, "I acknowledge this protection and allow its transformation." This phrase communicates directly with the autonomic nervous system, signaling that the defense has served its purpose and can now be consciously dissolved. The combination of these 3 portals creates what Hermetic traditions referred to as the triple key, an access code that allows deeply rooted somatic patterns to be shifted without triggering internal resistance. The actual dissolution technique uses a specific breathing pattern combined with rhythmic pressure on the sternum. Keep your hand on the center of your chest and begin a 4-part breath. Inhale for 4 seconds, consciously sending the air beneath your hand. Hold for 4 seconds, visualizing the air expanding the pericardial region. Exhale for 4 seconds, releasing any stored tension, and pause for 4 seconds, allowing the newly created space to stabilize. During each breathing cycle, apply firm yet gentle pressure on your sternum, as if massaging a deep muscular contraction. The movement should be circular, in a clockwise direction, following the rhythm of your breath. After 7 full cycles, you will activate the vibrational transmutation command. Keep the pressure on your sternum and silently declare, "This armor dissolves into presence. This protection transforms into wisdom." As you say these words, visualize a golden light radiating from the center of your chest, melting away any stiffness or contraction like warmed wax. Some people feel warmth, tingling, or even a sensation of physical opening in the chest. These are signs that the pericardium is releasing its defensive contraction. Others may experience intense emotions, tears, a sense of relief, or even a deep sadness rising to the surface. All of these reactions are natural and indicate that decades of emotional protection are being consciously released. The key is to resist nothing. Let your body express and release what it has held onto for so long. The final stage of this process happens through what we call the anchoring of the new heart configuration. After completing the dissolution cycles, slowly remove your hand from your sternum and place both palms over your heart, one on top of the other. Breathe naturally and notice the new sensation in your chest many people describe, a feeling of inner space that wasn't there before, as if the heart now has more room to expand. This is the moment to install the new vibrational pattern through the declaration of completion. My heart is safe to receive. My body knows how to love without falling apart. I allow love to flow freely through me. Repeat this declaration 3 times, letting each word resonate within the space you've just created in your chest. The full process should be practiced daily for 21 days, the time needed for the nervous system to recognize the new configuration as both safe and permanent. In the first few days, it's common to feel emotionally sensitive, as if old filters have been lifted and you're suddenly perceiving emotional nuances you used to miss. This is not vulnerability, it's emotional precision. Your body is relearning how to distinguish genuine love from manipulation, real intimacy from intrusion. With consistent practice, what was once an armored heart becomes a discerning heart, one that can open fully to what nourishes it and protect itself consciously from what drains it, without ever needing to shut down completely again. Saren had built a brilliant career as a heart surgeon, specializing in repairing physically damaged hearts. Ironically, her own heart had been locked away for 15 years, ever since she discovered her fiancé's betrayal just 1 week before their wedding. She was able to maintain superficial relationships, but whenever someone truly got close, something at the center of her chest would tighten like a clenched fist. The sensation was so physical that she underwent full cardiac testing. All results came back normal. It was during a complex surgical procedure that the realization hit her as she was suturing a damaged pericardium in a patient. She recognized that her own heart membrane had contracted in exactly the same way, not from physical injury, but from emotional self-preservation. That night, she applied to herself the dissolution technique she had learned years earlier during an integrative medicine retreat. She placed her hand over her sternum and consciously breathed for the first time in decades, directing air toward the base of her emotional scar. For 20 minutes, she felt layers of protection melt away like ice dissolving. 3 months later, when James, a colleague who had shown genuine interest in her for years, invited her to dinner, she noticed she could receive the invitation without her chest contracting automatically. For the first time in 15 years, intimacy didn't trigger emergency alarms in her nervous system. Saren discovered that a heart can be both protected and permeable, strong and receptive at the same time. The greatest obstacle to dissolving the armored heart is not technical. It's the fear that opening up means being completely exposed and defenseless. Your nervous system interprets any relaxation of the armor as an invitation for new wounds, automatically triggering sabotage mechanisms that make you abandon the process at the first signs of vulnerability. That's why many people begin the technique but stop the moment they feel their chest begin to soften. The body sends out a signal of imminent danger, forcing you to reactivate the protection. The transmutation of that fear happens through the understanding that conscious opening is different from unconscious exposure. When you practice the dissolution ritual, you are not removing all protection. You are transforming a rigid automatic defense into a selective, conscious one. During the first weeks of practice, whenever you feel the urge to shut down again, place your hand over your sternum and say, "I can open gradually at my own pace while keeping my essence protected." This communicates to your nervous system that you are not exposing yourself to danger. You are expanding your ability to discern between what nourishes and what harms. The difference is subtle but transformative. An armored heart rejects everything by reflex. A conscious heart chooses what it receives through wisdom. Your heart wasn't born armored. That fortress was built layer by layer, breath by breath, every time loving became a matter of survival. But what once saved you now separates you from the one experience that can truly nourish your soul. The ability to receive love without fear of falling apart. For decades, you've carried an invisible armor, believing it protected you. In truth, it only isolated you from what you needed most. The technique you've learned today is not about becoming vulnerable. It's about becoming discerning. It's about transforming a heart that reflexively rejects everything into a heart that consciously chooses what deserves to come in. The poet Rumi wrote, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." These barriers live in your body, crystallized in muscles, fascia, and cellular memories that operate independently of your will. But you've just discovered that you hold the power to dissolve them. Each time you place your hand on your sternum and breathe consciously, you are doing more than practicing a technique. You are reclaiming your primal capacity to love and be loved. You are reminding your nervous system that it is possible to be safe and open at the same time. The shield that once silenced love can finally become what it was always meant to be. Not a barrier against the world, but a conscious bridge between you and everything worth receiving. Because in the end, the greatest courage is not to love without fear. It's to allow your body to remember that it was made for this. If this content resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That helps us expand this field of ancestral knowledge even further. I'd love to know how your heart is feeling after applying the technique. Leave a comment saying, "I dissolve the shield around my heart and open myself to receive love." This affirmation seals your new heart configuration and strengthens the collective healing field. Share this video with someone you know who needs to rediscover their ability to love without fear. This was the 6th episode of the series The 12 Somatic Knots of Trauma. Explore the other episodes here on the channel, as each release knot restores an essential function of your soul that has been trapped in the body. Remember, when you undo the knot that silences love, you're not just unlocking your heart, you're reclaiming your original nature as someone who is capable of loving infinitely.